measures 15 and 16 of the audition music. Alright, let's finish this thing up. Now hopefully, after working with measures 13 and 14, this 15 and 16 rhythmically seems a little easier because here we don't have any triplets, we don't have any dotted 8/16, just eighth notes and then one full beat of 16th notes. So it'll go 1 te, 2 te, 3 te, 4 te, 1 te, 2 te, te ta 3. More straightforward than measure 13 and 14 was, right? Count it with me. And down, up, rhythm, here we go. 1 te, 2 te, 3 te, 4 te, 1 te, 2 te, te ta 3. Alright? Alright, so here we go. Let's play it. Rhythm only on F. Down, up, ready, and... Alright, now if you look up to the original, you will not tongue all of those notes because you do have quite a few slurs in 15 and 16, but that should help your brain just kind of wrap around the rhythm a little bit. Okay, so now let's check out notes. And in this case, we do have some skips or intervals that we need to work out. So look at that interval practice there under the rhythm only line. This is kind of stretched out the first few notes of measure 15 into half notes so that we can really focus on notes, fingers, and the skips between them. Alright, so if we look at the first three notes there, we have G, remember, B flat, and then that top note with the fermata over it is an E, right? So G, and then pinchy B flat, don't forget, it's in the key signature, and then we're going up to E, which is like low A with your register key. So thumb, register, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have to be able to get from the B flat to E, alright? Now on G, you could, and B flat, you could put some fingers down, like maybe you want to put down a 4 or 5 to help you get ready for that E. That's fine with me, shouldn't affect it. G, then B flat, E, and you'd already have 4 and 5 down, okay? And then it expands after that first fermata, it goes back and does the G, B flat, and E again, but then we're adding the next two notes of measure 15, going back down to D, so we add 6, and then finally we end on that C with home bass. Okay, so if you'll just finger with me, I'm going to go ahead and hold those fermatas and I'll kind of cue you when we're going on to the next section. Okay, so here we go, let's finger. Interval practice starts on G, 1, 2, fingers, here we go. It's G, then B flat, hold that E, going on and back to G, go. G, then B flat, up to that E, then add D, and home bass C. 3, 4, and stop. So I'm going to hold those fermatas for about whole notes just so we can make sure, like on that high E, we got up there okay, and then we'll hold it for 4 at the end on that C. And I'll help cue you for the next, going on to the next G. Alright, but again, watch out for that high E. Thumb register, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alright, so let's try interval practice. 1, 2, half notes, here we go. Next section, go. That line I think would be really good practice for you to work on getting from the B flat smoothly up to that high E. Alright, but I'm going to go ahead and move on to interval practice 2. Same concept, except it's a little faster. Instead of half notes, we see mostly quarter notes. Alright, and it's added 2 more notes of measure 15 at the very end. We've added the A and then going down to the F, which is the second to last note of measure 15. Okay, so will you please finger with me, interval practice 2. Still starting on that G. Ready? Here we go. G, B flat, E, we just added that A, teardrop, and F, some F at the end. Let's finger that one more time. Ready? Interval practice 2. So G, B flat, then hold the E, 2, 3, 4, going on. G, B flat, E, D, C, A, F, and stop. Okay? Alright, let's give it a try. 1, 2, ready, here we go. Going on. Alright, so I think mostly again in measure 15, if you can get up nicely to that high E, the rest of it is just adding the other eighth notes with your fingers. Okay, so now look at the half tempo version there. This is, again, kind of like what we did with measure 13 and 14. We've timed everything by 2. So instead of eighth notes and 16th notes like in the original, now we have quarter notes and eighth notes. We're adding in measure 16 here as well. Okay, so kind of a slow-mo version of 15 and 16. Will you say and finger with me? The half tempo line. 1 and 2 and ready. This will go G, B flat, E, D, C, A, F, G, A, D, C, B flat, A, G, F. Sorry, ran out of breath there. Okay, so you have another skip. If you look in the third measure of the half tempo line, this would be like the beginning of measure 16 from A, teardrop A, up to D. So you can already, when you play A, have 4, 5, and 6 down. So A, jump up to D, but then it's almost like a little mini scale coming down there. C, home bass, B flat, A, G, and then walk it home to F. Okay, so again, the third and fourth measure of half tempo, or the notes from measure 16 go A, D, then C, B flat, A, G, F. Alright, let's finger that one more time, the half tempo line. Ready, here we go. G, B flat, E, D, C, A, F, G, A, D, C, B flat, A, G, F. Alright, let's try it. Half tempo line. 1, 2, ready, here we go. Alright, so then we get to play the speed up game again to get it back to the 8th notes and 16th notes. Alright, so here's speed up 1. Still looking at the half tempo line, just a little faster. 1, 2, 3. A little faster. 1, 2, 3. Almost there. 1, 2, 3. So close. Oops. And 1, 2. Here it is. This will be full original speed. 1, 2. Alright, so we played our speed up game again. Now if you need to stop somewhere in there and not go all the way up, that's fine. Just keep working on that muscle memory. I'm just kind of showing how you can keep progressing and working up to that tempo. Okay, all right, so now I'm going to back it back down to our 60, and we'll look back up at the original 15 and 16. Now, also notice that you do again have some slurs. Tongue, slur, 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 tongue, slur, tongue, 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 slur, tongue, tongue, tongue. Alright, so might want to do some fogging and fingering with that to really make sure you have the tongues and the slurs in the correct places. Mostly with those slurs, it's going to be making sure your fingers get to the right place very quickly at the right time, and that your air and your embouchure are really doing the right things. Fast air, firm face. Alright, so let's finger now. Measure 15 and 16 together. Original. Here we go. Down, up, fingers it will go. G, B, flat, E, D, C, A, F, G, A, D, C, B, flat, A, G, F. Alright, let's try it. Down, up, ready? Try it one more time. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so now I'd like to go back and try to put measures 13 and 14 together with that. So I'm going to play for you all of line 4, measures 13 through 16. Remember, it's the Miss Chapel drinks a strawberry, blueberry smoothie every single day. And then we add our 15 and 16.